For the fourth and final time, drumroll please. Welcome back to my mini-series where I showcase my old unfinished levels. Who would have thought that the well of old levels I have would eventually dry up, but here we are, at the end. Even though this is the final episode, this one is the best of the bunch, as this installment will be showcasing my finest unfinished works. That's right, after 3 episodes and 4 years worth of learning, I finally made some levels that might get a star rate. As always, information for each level can be found in the description, and the funny backstories behind each level can be found in the captions. A disclaimer for anyone sensitive to flashing lights: this symbol will appear next to the name on screen, as well as in the timestamps so that you know which levels to avoid. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. To everyone that's subscribed so far, thank you. This is the first milestone of many, so stay tuned. If you aren't subscribed, subscribing to the channel would be very appreciated, as it will keep you in the loop for any new content that should be coming very soon. Now, for the final time, here are the levels. Enjoy!